Hola tribe. Welcome to the House of Kai. Today I'll be doing our oracle message. And so, as always, my intention is to gain clarity and move the tribe forward in the direction of their highest and greatest good. Always. And it's really great discussion with a friend today, and I was explaining how, no need to utilize cards. However, isn't it nice to tell stories and have pictures that go along with them? So if there is a resistance to utilizing of any sort of decks of cards out there, know that it's just putting a picture to a story. That's all it is. It's a picture to a story. So today we'll see where our story leads us. Let's see. And as always, if you like that which I'm providing, please like, share, and subscribe. Share with friends. And again, I thank you. I thank you for being part of my channel. Thank you so much. Okay. And so, let's see. Interesting. Oh, interesting. Ooh. So 2 cards were chosen, and one is, let's see. This is from the Earth Warriors deck. So this is the Kuntur Yachak. Kuntur Yachak is what I think it says. And it's Blessing from the Sun of Hanapacha. Very interesting. I like how the third eye in this is a moon. I don't know if you can see that. It's a crescent moon. Good. And the other card is Nana Buluku, which is she rests to create. Interesting. And again, if you notice, third eye is a reflection. There's a sun on this third eye, surrounded by the crescent moons, or maybe even considered the full moon on her third eye in this one. Interesting. So I am going to shuffle the next set of cards and see where we go. I personally have been feeling the need to rest more. And sometimes that rest is just the not doing. It's the not needing, to do more than what my spirit is capable of at this time. It might be because we're going into the winter months, right? That's natural for our bodies to wish to hibernate during these times. So, you might be feeling that too. And I've noticed a couple of friends, especially people from up north, who it gets darker even earlier for them. Yet, in being so cold, your system wants to rest. And so as we go in and we step into this time of hibernation, give yourself permission. Give yourself permission to drop in and just simply be, I think it is important for all of us to do exactly that. Be present with how we're feeling, and allow ourselves to rest more, do less. It's all about balance. It really is about balance. I laugh because I'm an extremist, right? All rest or all work, either one. Yet I will admit that I am an extremist. So finding balance for myself is an interesting presence that I must bring to myself, and sit in it, sit in that, like, well, it's okay, it's not extreme, it just is, right? So what is it that we need of the collective, require of the collective? And this is the Sacred Earth Oracle. Any messages? Ooh, interesting. I believe we got this card yesterday. Oh, I love it. Ooh. And then I throw it away. Look at that, I just threw that card right on the floor. So give me 1 second to grab that. It's gorgeous. Okay, I'm back. So we have expectation, right? We got this just the other day, I believe. I remember the medicine of the day was working with the spinal column. And this, this time my attention is being brought to the face, looking forward, right? Looking out, expecting something greater. Yeah. It feels more of a breathing here than something else. And then dependability, isn't this just... Ooh, let's see if I can get the lighting, because it is just gorgeous. Sorry, guys. Yeah, these little lighting rings that we use for YouTube, right? Blocking. But, that which it's not picking up on in the card actually makes me see a whole different image in its reflection. This is the image of a man and woman coming together. You can feel the energetic centers coming through, and in the reflection I'm seeing more of almost like an infant in between, the creation showing up more than even the couple. So we often think that it's about the doing, right? We think it's about, we must do in order to call in that which it is that we want, right? And so today's message seems to be a lot about knowing that our creation is manifesting, and that the expectation that we're holding is in our heart. It's not about trying to do a whole bunch of things in order to achieve what it is we're here to do. And it's dropping in. For me, I've been in a interesting space of what does all of that look like, right? What does relationship look like? What does partnership look like? What does friendship look like, right? So, and even more than look like, what does it feel like? And this image here of dependability, it's this sharing moment of allowing two people in relation. They don't need to be in a relationship. They're just in relation to each other at this moment in time. And in the relation, they're allowing themselves to share in an experience. They're not denying their experience. They're present with their experience. And they're not forcing a creation of the experience. They're in the experience, right? I really like how in this card, I wish I could, with the lighting, and I apologize, but in this card, the feminine is looking at the lotus flower. She is looking at the lotus flower, and the masculine is looking at her, looking at the lotus flower. And so, isn't that an interesting description of the male and female? He's not looking at the actual creation. She's the one who's holding the vision of the creation, and he himself is watching her. It's an interesting depiction of the masculine and feminine playing themselves out here. And, you know, again, starting here, being blessed. I like this. I might actually read this card here for the Kuntra Yachaka, the blessings of the son of Hanapacha. You know, we are in such an interesting, can we receive? Can we just simply be and receive? Lovely, lovely. Winter months, I believe it is the fall and the winter are reflections of the feminine energy, and the summer and the spring are reflections of the masculine energy. And so being the receiver of energy, being the filtration system of these energies, feminine receives data and emotions from their counterparts and then must filter through it, taking on their emotional body, consciously or unconsciously. It just happens for us. And there are more and more masculines doing similarly, of being great receivers and allowing the energy to, you know, manifest through. However, not always the case. That's okay. I think we're all on a learning curve, right? This is a learning curve. Remember that. Yeah. You know, nothing is set in stone. Nothing. Ooh, that just fell off. Let's go with those. My goodness. So we're going to go with the cards that showed up. They seem to be perfect, as we have, again, very similarly to that other card, but promise of the future, right? Looking forward, knowing that it's ours. The future that we have manifested and created in our hearts and in our vibrational field is manifesting for us. And then stepping into embracing it, right? Simply embracing it. And I love, you know, Ganusha in this image. Ganusha, if you know anything about Ganusha, he had a pet rat, and it was his best friend. I really do love that. And so in this image, he is hanging out with his best friend and just simply loving it. And so can we be in the receiving? Can we be in the receiving energy is what's coming through pretty dramatically today. Embracing the feminine, being the receiver, the receptacle of energy, and knowing that we have created a foundation worthy of that, you know? This, just a knowing, it's a knowing, you know, what a time we are in. So as the feminine rises into her power, there are more and more masculine energies wishing to support that feminine power, hold space for it. And I am noticing that there's a lot of masculine energies that are unsure how to do that specifically. And there's many feminine energies who really struggle to be receivers, you know, they're givers. You know, being a giver, you tend to, you know, feel a rush of energy and power in being able to give to other people, which is more of a typical masculine energy versus the receiving of that love and being cherished. And so, can we be present with that? Can you be present with how it is you show up in your relationships and any relationship? I know I mentioned this before. We're in relationship to everything at all moments in time. I'm in relationship to this camera right now. I'm in relationship to this sword right now. I am in a spatial relationship all the time, right? How I choose to engage within that relationship is my own choosing. You know, I watched a funny commercial the other day, and they were talking about a phone, these new phones, and how the woman was talking smack, She was talking smack about the phone she was just about to buy, and the person selling it to her was like, shh, like, don't, the phone hears you. The phone's gonna take it personally, right? Don't talk about the phone like that. It's, you know, in the level of power and control that this object has over us, right? So she was in relation to this phone, and she didn't want the phone. She wanted to leave the phone company she was at, because she realized that the phone had too much power, right? She realized, like, what do you mean face recognition and DNA imprints and fingerprint imprints and all this kind of stuff? And she was like, you know, I think I'm good. I don't need all of that, like, super crazy phone stuff. And it turned out that they wouldn't let her leave the store, you know? She had to talk nicely to the phone and this whole thing. So how we respond to our environment says a lot about ourselves. It says a lot about who we are as people. And so can we rest in knowing that there's nothing to do but be? Can we rest in the being? And so let's see, now I'm gonna bust open these new beautiful cards. Oh, I'm so excited. One more shuffle, it tells me. One more shuffle. One more shuffle. Let's see, let's see. Let's see, let's see. Oh, that's the one. Oh, so beautiful. So beautiful. So, where we are. This is an interesting message today. And again, 2 cards. I have forgiveness and open heart. One very much of a Buddha energy and one very much of a Yeshua energy. Right? So in order for us to be a receiving vessel of all this beautiful energy coming into us, we must create space. So today's medicine seems to be that we must create a space within ourselves to heal the vessel so that we can receive the gifts, right? As we look forward into the future, we need to do the work from here until there in order to create this space of healing, of a sanctuary within, right? Can we keep an open heart? Oof. Sometimes. Right? I would love to say all the time. Yet sometimes. Can I keep an open heart? Can I love unconditionally? You know, there's a quote I think I heard this with Ram Dass, and he spoke of, you know, unconditional love is having someone have a sword in front of your heart or your guts and like looking at them and loving them when they stab you, to not flinch, to not look away, to not deny that the experience is your experience, and do not put any negative energy on it. That's unconditional love. Whew, can you imagine? And we do it all the time, right? How many of us allow another being access to our heart, and instead of allowing ourselves to experience the pain that goes along with it, we lock down and we deny ourselves the feeling, you know, of love. Instead, we're overly righteous, I believe. So unconditionally loving a human being is being able to allow them to like just stab you and love them anyway, right? Like, I'm not saying I fully graduated there, yet I do truly do my best to achieve that. That it doesn't matter how anyone else shows up in any dynamic, it matters how I receive it, and it matters how I choose to show up. It reflection to it, right? My relation to the scenario. So today's message seems to be across the board to allow, to truly allow, and in order to do so, the work that I'm seeing here is clearing the channels of forgiveness. Clearing the channels of forgiveness. So instead of making a separate video today, we're just going to do it all in the same one, so it's going to be a little bit longer. What I believe is required at this time is a clearing of the heart. As I sit here, I can feel like this denseness on my heart. And so there's the upper heart and there's the central heart. And so I'm gonna grab a sip of water here. With that being said, let's do some simple visualization. Let's do some breath and some simple visualization. So if you'd like to join me for the medicine, I invite you to close your eyes, get nice and tall, and take a breath into your bodies. Can you allow yourself to breathe in a breath that is elongated? Allow your lower back to soften as you inhale and the energy rolls up the spine. You'll notice your diaphragm allows the shoulder blades to drop down the back. Inhaling long. Exhaling, keep the length of your spine as you allow all tension to move through. Again, getting long in the spine. And again, closing those eyes, allowing yourself to simply sit here and breathe. Sounds are always welcome. I find an HA sound serves best during moments like these. You are welcome to shake and move at any point in time. And I invite you, place a rose inside of your heart. Right? So take the visualization of a rose, and even if you can't see a rose, pretend. Just simply pretend that you've placed a rose inside of your heart. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. Command the rose to clear up any rubbish and residue from any trauma that may have entered your heart space. Again, allow that rose to do the work. Your breath may change. You may rapid it. It might slow down. However, continue to allow that rose to pull out the energies that are required in order to achieve the purification of our heart. Good, and again, keep breathing. Wow, good. When you're ready, stay inside of your body, stay very much present with your body. Send that rose as far off into the ethers as you are capable of and explode it like fireworks. Good. Good. Once again, coming into your heart space, maybe tapping your heart, just waking this up. Good. Allow for that rose. Call in another rose. call in another rose, and let yourself see this rose coming in, maybe like a vacuum cleaner or a duster, and just cleaning out cobwebs, residual, any lesser vibrational energies, and do not attach to any stories that come up. So if all of a sudden old childhood wounds comes up, just breathe through it. Allow it to move through you. It is unnecessary to attach a story to the experience that we're experiencing. And again, at your time and your pace, take a breath that reaches all the way down from the root to the crown. Again, another breath all the way in from the root to the crown. Good. Ooh, excuse me. So, in the work that I have studied, the rose is considered to be the highest vibrational element or thing on the earthly plane. So where it rates on the scales of vibrational awareness is fairly high. The only thing higher than it, or the next level in line, tends to be the angelic realm. So it is the purest of angelic realm energies that you are capable of calling in on the earthly plane. So again, feel free to clear that energy, and if you feel it waking up anything inside of yourself, feel free to place a rose wherever else you need to. You can place many roses, one at a time. However, remind yourself that after you clear it and after you clear the roses and you clear the energy of what you're doing, you can then disengage and send that rose off into the ethers and explode it like fireworks, sending the energy back to where it came, right? No attachments to it at all. And so today I will instruct you that doing medicine that clears these blockages is going to be key. You can do the medicine any way you choose, yet know that it's available to you. Yeah. Good. So, rest in the knowing. I believe that's today's message. Rest in the knowing that all is achieved. Do not base your current situation to be your current reality. Your current reality is that which you are holding in your heart, even though it may not be reflected outside of you. Allow yourself to be in the knowing that all is well, and that this too shall pass. Yeah, whatever this is, yeah, it will pass. So, questions, comments, concerns, please leave that below. If there is anything I can do for you, private sessions are absolutely being taken for all different healing modalities, as well as soul advisory. I would love to work with you. Thank you for sharing this time with me. I love you. Mwah. Peace out, tribe.